Both my beautiful husband, First G, and I believe it's time to move forward with our lives. I want to address not only their community but every community. At 85, Shirley Caesar, the iconic gospel singer and former member of the renowned Caravans, is finally breaking her silence on the rumors that have followed her throughout her life, from her childhood struggles to her rise to fame, along with the secrets she's kept hidden. We're uncovering the truth behind the headlines. Watch this video to hear the shocking revelations that Shirley has chosen to share with the world. Before we dive into Shirley's revelations, let's take a look at her early years and her beginnings in the gospel music scene. Born on October 13, 1938, Shirley was the 10th of 12 children. Her father, James, worked in the tobacco industry but was also well known in the Carolinas as the lead singer of a gospel quartet called the Just Came Four. This early exposure to gospel music significantly influenced Shirley's future. At the age of 10, Shirley began singing with her father's group, which laid the groundwork for her musical journey and provided her with a taste of performing gospel music. Tragically, when Shirley was just 12, her father passed away. Rather than derailing her budding career, this loss seemed to ignite her passion and determination. Following her father's death, Shirley started touring with evangelist Leroy Johnson, which allowed her to further develop her musical talents and reach a broader audience. Johnson hosted a television show in Portsmouth, Virginia, giving young Shirley valuable experience performing for both live and broadcast audiences. In 1951, at the age of 13, Shirley recorded her first song, I'd Rather Have Jesus. This early recording showcased her talent and set the stage for her future success in gospel music. It's incredible to think that even while still in high school, Shirley was already making a name for herself in the music world. She spent her time touring throughout the Carolinas, honing her skills and building a fan base, which exemplified the incredible work ethic and passion that would define her career for decades. However, Shirley's journey was not without challenges. Growing up in North Carolina during the Jim Crow era, she faced discrimination and obstacles that could have deterred a less determined person. She recalls instances where restaurants would suddenly put up closed signs when she arrived, a clear indication of the prevalent racial prejudice of the time. This inequality extended to her school experiences as well. She remembers a particular incident when a woman distributed cookies to all the children, but while white children received fresh cookies, Shirley and her black classmates were given stale ones. Much of Shirley's resilience can be attributed to her mother, Hannah, who instilled the importance of self-respect and perseverance in her. These lessons proved invaluable, helping Shirley navigate the often difficult path to success in the music industry. After graduating from high school, Shirley's determination led her to pursue higher education. She enrolled at North Carolina Central College, where she studied business education. During her college years, Shirley experienced what she believed to be a divine calling. In the midst of a typing test, she heard someone call her name. Confused, she turned to the young woman next to her and asked if she had spoken. Later, while lying on her bed at home, she heard the same voice again, delivering a clear message, Behold, I have called you from your mother's womb, and I have anointed your lips to preach the gospel. This moment was a profound spiritual awakening for her, leading her to believe she was destined to spread the gospel through her music. This belief became a driving force in her career, influencing her decisions and shaping her approach to gospel music. In 1958, at the age of 19, Shirley made a life-changing decision to approach Albertina Walker about joining the Caravans, one of the most popular gospel groups of the time. Albertina was impressed by her talent. Shirley's vocal talents caught the attention of a group eager to have her join, leading her to make the significant decision to pause her education and pursue a full-time music career. Joining the Caravans marked the true start of her professional journey, providing her with a platform to showcase her skills to a broader audience and learn from seasoned performers. However, life on the road with a renowned gospel group also brought new challenges for the young singer. On her first night with the Caravans, Shirley experienced a trial by fire. She found herself alone in Washington, D.C., staying at the Casbah Hotel on U Street, an area rich in African American culture and history. It was her first hotel stay, and the experience left her feeling vulnerable and isolated. This night also posed a character test in her new role when a male gospel singer staying at the same hotel made an inappropriate advance toward her. Shirley handled the situation with remarkable maturity for her age, firmly rejecting his advances and protecting herself from potential harm. As she adjusted to her role with the Caravans, Shirley's talent began to shine through. She performed alongside notable gospel artists like Albertina Walker, Cassietta George, Dolores Washington, Josephine Howard, Eddie Williams, and James Hearn. This experience allowed her to learn from some of the best in the industry and develop her unique style. During her time with the Caravans, Shirley recorded several songs that became hits, including her biggest success with the group, Sweeping Through the City, followed closely by No Coward Soldier. These tracks highlighted not only Shirley's powerful voice but also her ability to connect with audiences through her heartfelt performances. However, as is common in the music industry, tensions began to rise among the Caravans in the early 1960s. By 1961, Shirley felt a calling to follow a different path and made the difficult decision to leave the group to focus on her evangelical work full-time. This choice was not made lightly. Shirley felt a strong calling to a ministry that extended beyond her role as a singer. As she expressed, "There was no need for me to keep disappointing people, the Lord called me out. My ministry is much more dynamic than my singing." Shirley's departure from the Caravans signified the end of one chapter in her life and the beginning of another as she embarked on a solo career. After spending 8 years perfecting her craft with the group, she was ready to spread her wings. This pivotal moment came when Hob Records offered her a solo recording contract, an opportunity she couldn't refuse. Her debut album with Hob Records, titled I'll Go, featured the institutional radio choir, which added depth and power to her already impressive vocals. This album introduced Shirley's solo capabilities with soon-to-be classics like Oh Peter, Don't Be Afraid, and Choose Ye This Day, showcasing her unique voice and ability to resonate with listeners. But Shirley was just getting started. She followed up her debut with a series of hits that solidified her as a solo artist, including fan favorites like Satan, We're Gonna Tear Your Kingdom Down, and God's Not Dead, He's Yet Alive. Another standout track, Don't Drive Your Mama Away, resonated with many listeners and further established her place in gospel music. The year 1971 marked a significant milestone in Shirley's career when she won her first Grammy Award for her recording of Put Your Hand in the Hand of the Man. This recognition from the music industry was a clear indication that her talent and hard work were paying off and validated her choice to pursue a solo career. Just a few years later, in 1975, she earned her first gold record with the song No Charge. This track became an instant hit, touching the hearts of listeners and proving that Shirley had the ability to create music that was both enjoyable and meaningful. Despite her successes, Shirley felt she could reach an even broader audience with her music. She began to sense that Hob Records might be limiting her potential reach. When her contract with the label came up for renewal that same year, Shirley made the bold decision not to renew it, ready for a change that would hopefully expand her audience. In 1977, Shirley took a controversial risk within the gospel community by signing with Roadshow. Shirley recorded her debut album with Roadshow, titled First Lady, a name chosen by the producer rather than by her. He selected this title because Shirley was the first woman to record for the label, although they had no idea that this designation would follow her throughout her career. The First Lady album marked a bit of a shift for Shirley. While the lyrics remained deeply rooted in gospel, many in the gospel community perceived the music as too secular. This perception resulted in pushback, with numerous gospel DJs refusing to air tracks from the album. Nevertheless, one song, Faded Rose, emerged as a classic for Shirley. Overall, the album didn't perform well commercially, but the title First Lady gained traction within the gospel industry. Soon, Shirley was being introduced at concerts, on radio shows, and by gospel promoters as the First Lady of Gospel Music. Shirley gave Roadshow Records another chance with her second album, From the Heart, released in 1978. Unfortunately, This album faced similar challenges as its predecessor, as the gospel community continued to find the music too secular, resulting in a poor reception. After these experiences, Shirley realized she needed to reconnect with her gospel roots. She began searching for a gospel label that would allow her to reach her audience while remaining true to her musical style. In 1980, she found the perfect fit with Word Records. Her time there proved to be extremely productive. Over the next few years, she won several Grammy Awards, confirming that she had found her niche. Some of her biggest hits, which defined her sound and solidified her status as a gospel music icon, emerged during this time. Notable songs included God's Got It All in Control, which resonated with listeners and highlighted Shirley's steadfast faith, and Hold My Mule, which later gained new life as a Thanksgiving-related internet meme under the title, You Name It. This unexpected viral moment introduced Shirley to a whole new generation of fans. Other major hits from this period included He's Working It Out for You, Jesus, I Love Calling Your Name, and You're Next in Line for a Miracle. These songs showcased not only Shirley's powerful voice but also her ability to convey messages of faith and hope that resonated deeply with audiences. Throughout her solo career, Shirley established herself on the gospel music circuit and became a familiar presence on popular television shows, including regular appearances on The Bobby Jones Gospel Show. These appearances helped boost her visibility and expand her fan base. Despite her solo achievements, Shirley never forgot her roots, always crediting Albertina Walker, her former bandmate from the Caravans, as her mentor. She referred to Albertina as the Queen of Gospel Music, expressing her respect and gratitude for the woman who had given her her big break years earlier. However, Shirley's long-standing reputation as a cherished gospel artist was not without controversy. She found herself at the center of discussions about inclusivity and acceptance within the church community. The controversy began when fellow gospel singer Kim Burrell made headlines for a sermon many deemed anti-gay, using harsh language to condemn LGBTQ individuals and describe same-sex relationships in graphic, derogatory terms. This sermon sparked widespread outrage and condemnation from many, including some of Burrell's friends and collaborators in the music industry. In response to the backlash against Burrell, Shirley decided to express her views on the matter. During a sermon at the First Baptist Church of Glenarden in Baltimore, Shirley made remarks that caught many of her fans and followers off guard. Instead of distancing herself from Burrell's comments or advocating for greater understanding, she suggested that Burrell should have spoken out earlier. Specifically, Shirley reportedly stated that Burrell should have voiced her opinions years ago when significant changes were made at the presidential level. While she didn't clarify the specific events she was referencing, many speculated that she was alluding to the Supreme Court's legalization of same-sex marriage in 2015. Shirley's comments appeared to align her with Burrell's perspective, which surprised many given her respected status in the gospel music community. Her apparent endorsement of Burrell's controversial statements sparked discussions about inclusivity in the church and the responsibilities of public figures in addressing sensitive issues. Additionally, Shirley offered advice on being cautious with one's words in the age of social media, suggesting that church leaders should collect cell phones at the door when addressing their congregations. As criticism grew, Shirley felt compelled to clarify her position during an interview with Bishop George Bloomer. She asserted that she was too mature to harbor homophobic views and stressed that she would never intentionally harm anyone. Shirley insisted she knows who she is and would never speak ill of others, emphasizing that she prioritizes being a humanitarian in the later stages of her life. She also attempted to contextualize her earlier comments regarding the timing of Burrell's remarks, questioning why the issue was being raised now and suggesting that the past should remain in the past. In an effort to bridge divides, she concluded her statement with a call for love and acceptance, quoting the Bible about loving all people, regardless of community. However, her attempts to clarify did not completely dispel the controversy, as some found her statements inconsistent or evasive, while others appreciated her call for love and progress. Interestingly, Shirley's involvement in this situation led to unexpected fallout, with some individuals circulating claims about her past relationships with women. These unsubstantiated allegations were viewed by some as attempts to highlight perceived hypocrisy in her stance. The controversy surrounding her comments also sparked broader discussions about queerness in gospel music, shedding light on other Christian artists who have come out as LGBTQ and challenged traditional views in the Christian music industry. For instance, Trey Pearson, lead vocalist of the band Everyday Sunday, came out as gay in an open letter to fans, creating waves in the Christian music community. Similarly, Vicky Beeching, a prominent contemporary Christian music artist, came out in 2014, marking a significant moment in the CCM world. Jennifer Knapp, another notable Christian artist, also had a similar experience when she stepped away from the CCM scene in 2003, later returning to discuss her sexual orientation openly. In her personal life, Shirley took a significant step in June 1983 by marrying Bishop Harold Williams, forming both a personal and professional partnership as co-pastors of Mount Calvary Word of Faith Church in Raleigh, North Carolina. Under their leadership, the church grew to about 1,500 members. Although Shirley did not have children of her own, she embraced her role as a stepmother to Bishop Williams's 2 children. Tragedy struck in 2014 when Bishop Williams passed away on July 4, marking a challenging period for Shirley, both personally and in her ministry.